What's the most exciting thing that's been going on in MMA recently? Ngannou. Right? And that's not a UFC person. That's the most exciting thing going on in MMA right now is Ngannou, right? Ngannou and boxing. Boxing is way hot. Boxing has been better this last year than it has been in 20 some years, 40 years. It's been great. They've had a great year in boxing. Boxing has doubled its profits since the Ali Act passed in 2000, 24 years ago. Boxing's killing it. They're crushing. Boxing is crushing. Anybody who was telling you that boxing's dead is stupid pro wrestling MMA fan who doesn't know anything about the sport and just listens to Dana White and repeats what he says. Oh, well, UFC pays better. No, it doesn't. UFC pays that from the 85 to 95 percentile. They make a little bit more. They make a little bit more than boxers, right? It's 10%. 10%, 90% of all other boxers make more money than the UFC fighters do, right? They make more money than MMA fighters on every level, except that 10% sliver, because the UFC overpays first-time fighters. If you're 3-0, there's a good chance that maybe you haven't earned 10-10 at this point. I shouldn't even say they're overpaid. I mean, everybody's underpaid because they're only paying out 14% of the gross proceeds, right? It's a good question. He says, why do you think McGregor had UFC support with his boxing while Ngannou did not? Because they took like 30% of McGregor's purse. That's why. They took a big chunk of that money, right? McGregor could have fought them legally and had the opportunity to fight that fight and keep all the money to himself, but he didn't want to bite the hand that was feeding him and protecting him. So he went with them. He went with the paying them out. I have a sneaky suspicion that they helped him a lot with his whiskey stuff. They may have some type of partnership or they have some kind of piece of that action also. I would not be surprised.